Hey, I'm Mastercard, and welcome Monster Energy Supercross 4 for probably the final time, at least in career mode. Last time out, we won the 450 championship, but we're heading back to the beginning because we didn't win the futures. The only championship we haven't won. We've got 3 races here, or 3 rounds, maybe 6 races, hopefully. As last time out, we did pick up some bikes. Now, we're going to choose between the Asfano or Suzuki, but after trying them out in practice, the Asfano is way better than the Suzuki. And see, just speed acceleration alone is much better. Then the handling and braking is pretty good on the Suzuki. We definitely want the Asfano. And as we did with the Honda as well, we are going to upgrade some things just to make sure it is on like level par, which is basically just the exhaust. That's all we're going to upgrade. We get the Yoshimura exhaust on. This is pretty damn good. Actually, no. What was the exhaust we had on the... What was the exhaust we had on the... Was it Honda? I think it was... I think it was that one, wasn't it? There you go. Now we've got insane speed and acceleration. That's all we need. Don't need handing or brakes at all. Oh yeah, I also had to customize our rider for like the first time ever as well. We got to go with a different helmet maybe. Oh no, it's the nickname color, isn't it? That's what we needed to do. Because we had it as black this whole time. Here, we'll make it blue. There we go. In that name color as well. We'll make that not blue, it's purple, isn't it? There you go. There you go. We should now be able to see that. But no extra event. We've already done that 1v1 for ages. We did our last training last time out. Was very good. But now, our last time is in Anaheim. Won. Now these from practice should be competitive, but we know they're always quicker in the heats and the races. So just 3 tenths ahead of Nathan. Here we go then. Revving all and needing some of a bright colour. Oh my god, it's too bright, isn't it? Let's get underway. Oh god. So remember, we've got short races as well. Oh, well, you can cut that by a country mile. Bloody hell. I think I'll get the whole shot, so that went to Blazer. I only got 3 minutes here. Just a couple of laps. As you get to know, is it Mulkey? As he landed short there. That's what you get, Mooney. For messing with us. So there we go, nicely done. Go nicely over the jumps, but again, they're much quicker through this section. As we get into Moody again. And a good battle with Mooney so far. And he's got Mulkey second. Like, or maybe not. And it down the inside. Blazer trying to get away from us. But that's still going very wide in that final corner, though. They lead across the line. And we've got to be top 9. Make it through to the main event. Who's that Blazer giving us a little notch? Go away with it. But so we're coming back to the 250s. Just the lack of just feel and power compared to the 450s. It's all out-handed that. That's all Blazer making a break for it. Come back here, Donald. As he got Pollard behind in Thompson. Doing well in 4th ahead of Johnson. So we don't really need the brakes on the 250s. Like, this is momentum riding compared to the 450s. Well, 450s is also momentum riding, but this is like even more momentum riding. Like, you get all the speed you can get coming in and out of the corners. And this like made a gap behind. Here onto the penultimate lap. These races are going to be very short, aren't they? Let's do a 1:12. Good step up from practice once again. We find in the races. We'll get away tough block. looks a bit round in that tough block there as well. Like, just sticking out. There's 2-second gap in front, 2-second gap behind. We're very comfortable with it. Definitely take this head into the main event. Let's all take the triple. That is such an easy triple on the 450s. Well, this you're barely making it even with our upgrade. There goes the klaxon. Alright, but also at that time, let's try and catch up the Blazer. Have a bit of a fun final of that, maybe. So try and do all 3 races here. We'll also try and do a little look at the game like we normally do. Our thoughts on Supercross 4. And we're doing the final episode of our playthroughs. Like the tail Blazer. We've got to be so careful not to go too fast over that last jump. 11.5. The Conti and Keith. Got battling to make it through as Blazer missed up the first section. So into the lead. We're going like 3 seconds quicker than we were in practice. Was not a very good that we had then. Oh, gonna have to just make that a double. They're so much better over that jump as well. We've got to be careful of that in the race. I remember that screwed us. We previously rode the 250s around it. So we've got to try and watch out for that in the main event. Just a shame we don't have proper features. I would love to see like the mini bikes in this. Okay, we do get DLC for the 2 strokes, the 125s and 250s, and you get a couple of classic tracks better like Seattle and Indianapolis as well, those DLCs, and the Monster Energy Cup from 10 years ago for some reason. So there we go. Not bad. So do a 1:10.7 on the final lap. Just about the fastest. That was over by 4,000 ahead of Donald. You got overtaken by Jan. Then you got Smith Joseph. Once again, I'm not sure if that's meant to be Joseph Smith on the Suzuki. Moody, Victoria Thompson, Robin Johnson, Keith Surfos, and Jennifer Johnson making it through on her Kawasaki, just ahead of Nicole Conti's Kawasaki. There you go. 1 race down. 1 to go here in Anaheim. But you've probably seen enough of Ralph Sheen doing the intros and stuff. And Ricky Carmichael as well, when they let him speak. As he got a decent getaway on as far up. So they'll all go very wide as it's just 5 minutes here for the main event. So you're ahead of Thompson in the whole shot. Then we've got Moody, Pollard, and Keith. Oh, get out of there. Can't be afforded to make mistakes like that. Only got half the time. Who's that in front? That's Thompson. We should recognise that from the start. That's about for a top 5 here with her and Wolf, and here comes Carlos as well. Oh, tried to make the dive down the inside. Didn't quite get near enough though. Make the move around the outside though. Oh, landed a bit hard on the rear wheel. Down the inside of everyone. As once going to go crazy wide in that final corner. So Keith messing up this section. Suddenly we're battling for the win. Oh, Keith down. Didn't touch him. Went over his own handlebars there. We're battling with Moody now. I don't know who we were battling with in the heats as well. There we go. Easy triple now through that. Oh, Moody with the dive. Told you they're quick through that section. Put Thompson in 3rd. Most so quick in this section normally. It's always starting the case to join a bit. With Moody a bit of his own action back. Hello. So we might as well talk about our opponents in this. As probably the best so far in a Supercross game for Milestone. Like, not as aggressive as Mindless. Well, actually, maybe not as... Maybe still has miners, but not as aggressive as they have been in previous Supercross games, which is good to see. They'd still have their moments of utter stupidity, but they do mostly stay on the track. Just the odd couple of instances where they go a bit wide. Particularly around, is it Arizona or Atlanta? We have that double right hand and they just go wide there with the big jumps as well. When he gets back past us. I'll make that triple. I saw C. Thompson clipping our wheel there. Look else Mooney messes up the next section before he gets the boost. So yeah, they're better. They're still far from perfect, but at least they're kind of raceable now. Not as frustrating, especially as like 2. 1 and 2 were really bad. In 3, they did the MotoGP thing where if they got close, they just dive bombed you, and that was bad as well. For this, they seem to be a bit more considerate. Good to see. I know, as you've already seen, they do kind of land on you sometimes or punt you, and nothing you can really do about that. But yeah, they do mostly stay on the track now. I remember that being a big problem, particularly in like 2, I think it was, where they just landed all over the place. And to mostly solve those issues, Milestone. Still the odd track with the issues. And the difficulty as well, like they are a bit more difficult. I'm not sure it's because we had to get used to this game as well. Like, as you saw with Future at the beginning, I came last in this when we first tried this, so yeah, maybe they're a bit more difficult now, which would be very nice to see, as any of the Supercross games have actually been easy, even for someone with my skill level, which is incredibly average at best. And now, as you can see, we're on realistic. I don't coming to the end of it and got used to the game, as you can see, what starting to get the better of them again. But yeah, it was a good journey in like the 250s, getting used to everything before in the 450 just gaining them. Then of course we're on really good bikes as well, the Kawasaki and KTM. We're on a very good Esvana here as well, as we got almost 4-second lead on Moody out of nowhere. Don't land on that. Gonna have to make that a double. At the beginning I would have tried to make that a triple and then just case it and crash and be like, oh, the game's fucking me over. Like, no, I've learned to fight for those extra couple of feet. Yeah, opponent's good. I don't get why we had like 22 extra riders on 450 level though. Are they just randomly in the championship sometimes, or? As well, Tough Block's fine. Tough Block's consistency is a bit weird in this game as well. Like in previous Supercross games, they used to be very tough, very hard. In this, they can either be, they're a bit softer. Seems like you can ride through them a bit more. But so there's some that are as light as a feather, which you don't really notice, and some that stop you dead, almost. Like, bit all over the place, tough block consistency. That brings us on to just the tracks. We can try and do half of that. Talking about the tracks, it's all good. Just about them back there. Not much to say. I don't think graphically they look as good as 3 actually, with the filters they put on here. Isn't it much brighter in 3? It's something they did with the MotoGP games as well, like 20s. To be brighter than 21. I think they just changed with the lighting maybe and the shaders. I was thinking this game, like this looks pretty cool with all the different colours and stuff. The circuit of the track, but I don't know. I just think I just preferred the look of 3, to be honest. Even if it could blind you with how bright it was, like you did have to turn off bloom and everything, but there you go, we won. One down, two to go. As we weren't as quick as the heats, actually. We were a second slower, but still comfortably one ahead of Pollard, then Moody, Blazer, McCormack, Thomas, then the Sword, the Agent of Swords. Fedrick in 7th on the Fellows File, and then Wolf. Jones, Richard. Was like Richard Jones, who knows? And Smith, Joseph. Joseph Smith, the riders with their names the wrong way round, maybe. As Fit Dillard Thompson down in 21st in the end. Well, to her. It's Stephanie Kittner in us on the Honda. There you go. One win down. Point sister in 26. All the way down to 1 point. So many riders do we have here? So we had, what, 65, didn't we? But only had 43 riders that actually showed up in the 450s. We've got 45 here in futures. So prestige. I don't think we'll hit level 100 in this episode. There you go. Good first race. So next up is the Oakland Coliseum. Oh, this is tricky, isn't it? Or not? So you line up on the inside alongside Triple Eight and Christensen. We go much better getaway. There's a bit of a softer surface here, so if we case the joint, we won't get away with it like with Anaheim. Also, we definitely have discovered from practice. So they're much quicker through this section. Oh my god, they're actually pushing us through that. So who's that? That's White. Get ahead of us. We've got Richard, Thomas, and Triple Eight behind us. Oh no, get out of the way, tough block. Oh, just about got away with that. Down to 5th. Oh no, come on. Got through the sand, getting pushed wide by King. And there's Donald as well. Oh no. Oh my god, there's bikes falling everywhere. What's going on in this opening up? Very tricky section here. Even trick on our 450 trying to slow that momentum down. Then go onto that tabletop. And the whoops are a little light relief on this lap. Going to another tricky rhythm section on the 250s. Oh, we actually got to the tabletop then. That's actually made it much easier. There you go, up to 5th. Wasn't able to do that in practice. As you got King and Christensen in front. Seems to actually be a triple. That seems to be a double. And then case the joint. Just about get away with it, but we are still a bit slower than our opponents through that. As we go over the double, across the line, in 6th, as White leads the way by our heated rivalry. The opening that. As they are closing back up to the top 3. So, yeah, I do quite like how the... Continuing, I'll talk about the tracks from the last race. I do like how the tracks kind of... They're different from practice to the heats and in the races. Like, you do see deterioration. Still don't get ruts. Ruts are still an illusion, a mirage. Seems like from Milestone, which I have no idea why, because they had it in MXGP3 and then they haven't appeared since for some reason. You know, it's made on the same Unreal Engine, so I don't understand it at all. Never really has been a thing in the Supercross games. Even though we do get the visual differences. Don't feel any different, unfortunately, tracks. It's a huge shame. Because moving on to the handling is probably the one thing you will notice the biggest difference between 3 and 4 from. Like, in general, the game's not too different, I would say. Of course, career mode is quite a bit different. Now, again, if you play 2, career mode is quite similar. It's on the penultimate already. But I had to hold the rear brake there to make sure we stayed on the tabletop. But it's not going to be smooth sailing around here, is it? They did a 111.9, but that is nowhere near quick enough. They're doing like 110s, I think, in front. There you go. Going to Double Palace. Oh, the handing is trickier. Like, this has taken some getting used to. Like, casing the joint will actually affect you quite a lot as you're getting shoved by Nathan. So you give him a shove back. That's one thing that annoys me. Your opponents don't actually get penalised that much by going off sometimes. Like, we would get slowed down for that. Cost ourselves a second or two. They just pop back on like nothing's happened. Bit frustrating. But yeah, just getting used to the... Oh, God. Almost too wide there. Getting used to actually managing your weight a bit better. Your throttle as well, like, particularly with the biggest difference, I would say. Oh, we got into the tabletop again. Oh, someone down in front. Who's that? Thomas. Like, being able to manage that, maybe been the biggest improvement we've made is managing the throttle. Oh, there we go. Triple, triple, double. That's what we need to do. Double, triple. Single. Oh, not quite. As you do get into the 110s in the end. Yeah, look at that. Suzuki Zoe White winning with a 109 as the fastest. That second and a half quicker. You got Johnny, Gus, Christensen, Maggie, Thomas, pipping us on our KTM. Then we've got Holly Lee, Nathan, and Lucas making it through to the main event. Let's see if we can make it 2 from 2. As we are main event time under the lights alongside Nathan and Johnson. No, so you know it's the difference from the start as well. You've got to be careful managing the throttle there as well. But like everything's all about more throttle management, it feels like in this, which is something I feel like you see in MotoGP 21 as well. So to come in line with like milestones like, oh, we're getting more realistic claims that they do for their marketing all the time. Let's get out of here, Nathan. We'll be leading across the line here, buddy. Oh, maybe we won't. We're really rubbing elbows with them. As we go wide, they go tight. Doesn't feel like you can carry the speed through the burns as well on the 250s. Like, you can still kind of do it on the 450s, but it's nowhere near like Supercross 1 level, for instance, which was just maybe too much carrying the speed through the burns. Well, that slowed us down way more than Nathan. Oh, he's almost losing it as well. You know, look at that. Just goes all over the place. Still in the lead. We've got Zoe White with us now on a Suzuki. Oh, I didn't quite triple. I have to do like doubles, singles. There's having a good battle here with Nathan. Like, the disparity of our opponents' pay. Oh my god, get on the track. Oh, come on. See, if that was Oakland, we could have rejoined there. But of course, the tough blocks are a bit harder. Fortunately, just can't get through them. We are still top 5, so it's all okay. Podium's still right in front. No, Gregory seems to... Well, these nicks down our inside, which are not very helpful at all. There's all top 4 like all together as well. No one's gotten away. But yeah, the pace between like practice and qualifying is a bit ridiculous at some tracks. Like, it can be as much as 5 seconds. Which I can understand in real life, like they do speed up a bit as well. You've got a green track at first, and then everyone's ridden round it. Gotten used to the track conditions as well. Conditions can change, like you've got the lights at night. Or during the day it's a bit hotter as well. It's maybe a bit cooler at night. That'll make you a bit faster. But yeah, it's a bit all over the place difference, but again, that's something we see in the MotoGP games as well now. Like MotoGP 21, like Difference from the beginning of a session to the end of the sessions is seconds as well. It's good to see from Milestone, like they're actually, as much as I frown at them saying realistic every other word for their marketing for these games, they are trying to. They're trying it, alright? They're not there. I don't think any Supercross viewer will be like, oh, this is the most realistic thing ever, and abandon like MX bikes, for example, but there's a bit of effort there for Milestone. Like you said that as well with like the air physics. Like air physics are still very stilted, but they're a bit more free than they were in 3. But the can animations for the scrubs, like there's a reason I don't do any scrubs really. Like it's mostly whips if I have to. So on to the penultimate lap pit. So they have separated now, the top 2. Like your rider in general on the bike is a bit more free. Or there's maybe slightly more animations going on. Like it's still nowhere near perfect, but maybe it's still a bit more upright. But as you saw through the corners, like they're trying to get down a bit. Maybe a bit too upright there, but you saw in the previous corner, like he's trying to get down a bit, trying to hurry bike through the corner. Another inconsistency as well, going in with the hot riding and the tracks as well as casing. Like, I know it's different on different tracks, but what counts as casing seems to be different for different tracks as well. Like, it can land like that, right on the lip of a jump here, but then actually even like Anaheim, like but land like that after like a jump, it can just lead me instantly forward. It's a bit all over the place. Same with like the contact as well. Your fellow riders, God, this is frustrating. We've got the same pace as here onto the final lap here. We've got the same pace as the riders in front. We're just not staring at them, not closing the gap. We'll take top 5. So we head to Arlington for the final race, if I remember right. I think probably my most embarrassing moment on Supercross for where it took hours to be able to get through to the main event. I remember on stream, which luckily I've got rid of and now cut down to like half hour. That was the episode here of career mode leading into our rookies or 250 adventure. That's another thing which confused me, the naming of the having 250s as rookies. Don't need to have that in. No 110, not good enough. As Nathan Winshead or Smith Joseph, then you've got Zoe White, Christensen, ourselves after 5 laps, and Lucas Gill, Gregory Wilson. Yeah, we got a couple of tenths quicker, but as you can see, still 8 tenths slower than the fastest lap. Jessica rounds out the top 10. Donald in last. Then into the final race, we're 8 points ahead of Smith Joseph, who's gone up 8 places. And you've got Zoe White, Nathan, who's gone up 30 places with his victory. And Maggie Thomas up 31 places. Stephen Christensen, you've got Don Blazer in 10th. As well, lots of changes. Can't keep up with all these changes as everyone has scored a point. That's good to see. There we go. No podium for us, so let's head straight to the finale. And maybe another false dawn as we saw this in Oakland. I think why it's a bit more difficult in the races is that they have that little boost in those rhythm sections, which we don't. So I'm not sure if they do that in practice or not. But yeah, 3.5 seconds will be quickly closed in the heat race. Here we go then on the inside in the AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Get underway for the heat. Got short gearing. I have not messed with the setup at all in this game, I don't think. Oh, we're just about... Oh, no, Kittner got the whole shot. I thought we got it. But then we went into the Suzuki sign. So there's Jeffrey leading the way. So we've got Conti on our tail and Miller as well. Oh, God. This is where I screwed up in practice as well through this section. Oh, just about. See, no, on that tough block, we got off it. that was Oakland, we'd have gone down. Then you triple this. And ride high in the burn, then through the whoops. Like, whoops is our only relief round here. It's a bit like Oakland, actually, almost exactly the same. Like, we've got the rhythm sections, and then we've got the whoops, which kind of saves us. Bit of a high-speed section as well. And then the ending, you've got to be careful. You can't have to take it that way. That's the quickest way for us. I know they take it all right away to our opponents, but... Can we triple that? Oh, almost. We're on the tail, Jeffrey. Yeah, this shows my improvement over the course of this game. Like, it's probably been the most satisfying Supercross one from a riding perspective, from being like, oh, I was totally shit at the beginning. Now look at me. This took, what, an hour and a half for me to try and get through this race? This is first attempt now. And looks like we're going to comfortably do it. And I failed to do it before on the live stream. So around the outside. Remember take that totally different. Oh no, that slowed us down too much. That's the issue around it, is that they, with that little boost they get, they can just carry on. Like, nothing's happened there. We get slowed down too much there. Like, I do find those boosts quite annoying on the 250s. Like, 450s it's less annoying, but the 250s, when you're trying to battle them, they just boost by like that through rhythm sections. Like, a bit annoying. We should get into career mode, actually. I tried to explain a bit about the structure. Like, on the 250s rookies, and then we've got pros with the 450s. I actually don't mind the structure. Like, there's a clear path from futures all the way up. I think that's always been the case. Like, just started in 250s first, then went to 450s if you wanted. So heading on to, oh, it's penultimate lap. Jeffrey crossed the line just before the captain went. Oh, lean back there. Oh yeah, remember wheelie. Wheelie as well is still very powerful in these games. Like, if in trouble, wheelie. If in doubt, wheelie. If you're late to work, wheelie. Like, that is what you do in this game. You wheelie. You get out of trouble, like we just did there. But yeah, in career, I quite like career. I know it has got a bit samey already after just 3 or 4 seasons, I think, of career. Like, same issue with 2. Like, you got this great idea, but then you don't really execute it well. Like, I like the training aspect. I like the skill tree aspect with you improving your rider. I quite like that. And in general, I quite like the structure of career. It's just gets a bit samey. Like, all the events are 1v1s against our rivals, even rivals we didn't know we had as well. I guess that's, they're trying to add in a bit of variety there, but it's not actually your rival all the time, but still. It's either 1v1s or the manufacturer cut at the beginning of the season. Like, for new manufacturers, like, need a bit more for events in career. I quite like the training aspects. Like, that's been nicely improved from 2. I wish there was more you could do with your rivals as well. Like, you could talk smack in interviews and stuff like that. A bit like they had in the NASCAR games. Everyone remembers that. They had actually like rivalries in the NASCAR games. Or still do. I don't know. I haven't played a lot of Heat. But if you did an action on track, or, you know, said something about them like they would be more aggressive to, I'd love to see that in this. Or like change their behaviour on track. I know our opponents aren't perfect at the moment, so I'm not sure it'd be a good idea to implement it yet from Milestone, as they still really have to improve our opponents. But yeah, that's maybe something to think about in the future about these rivalries, because it always is just a screen saying, oh, you beat this guy in a race. Like, it's a bit like you see in the F1 games as well. Like, you don't really have a rivalry with your teammate. You just have... Now they build it into my team a bit more with F1 2020, which is cool. But you don't really have any developments here. It's just to your rider. So No, it doesn't work in the same way as it does in F1, which works slightly better. But anyway, we made it through to the main event. Ed Kittner. Then we got Mulkey, Nathan, Jones Richards, Parker, Jennifer Johnson, Nicole Conti, and Thomas Wolf on this K-Team. Just beating Catherine Hill's Yamaha as Cook in last. So here we go. Final race of Korea.
Welcome to one of the most spectacular stadiums in the world, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. I'm Ralph Shaheen. Joining me is my good buddy and former Supercross champ, Ricky Carmichael, ready for the call of Monster Energy, AMA Supercross, and FIM World Championship.
Yes, Ralph, the Arlington Stadium is a magnificent backdrop for this evening's track. There will certainly be an incredible battle fought on those whoops.
In a few moments, we will find out who will grab the whole shot here in the Lone Star State. Listen to that crowd. They're screaming just one name. Let's see if this rider can thrill the fans with a big win.
As we are revving up for final gate drop of our career as we get underway for 5 minutes plus a couple of laps. And Ralph Sheen and Ricky Carmichael are still useless in this as Parker gets the whole shot out of Jeffrey. Like, we need them to be interesting, you know, in the intros and stuff. They're just saying the same old stuff they have since one. So now we've got Ricky Carmichael instead of who it was before the first two games. It's battling hard with Jeffrey yet. Trying to catch up to Parker. But yeah, I still don't see the point in the commentators in this. Like, you see Ralph Sheen say the same old crap. Probably for the 450s. Like, or the same podium stuff, like everything. Everything's the same. Ricky Carmichael has got one or two lines in this game. That's it. So go try and go down the inside of Parker. There you go. So that's much better. That's how you're meant to take that. But they have quite a hard landing as well into this. So they use a bit of momentum. So we've got a bit of momentum carrying that into the first corner as well. Taking it that way. There we go. Try and fight for victory here in the last race. They're expanding more on career mode though. Yeah, I just want to see, maybe we could see development of bikes. Like, that could be a thing. I know teams work slightly better than they have done previously, but it's almost exactly the same. But there's a bit more variety of choice on the teams, and you can do offers to teams and they can reject you. Like, that's okay. At least you can ride for an official team. I remember that being, for some reason, not happening for a while. And not having riders like Tomac as well. Pass. You don't have, like, Muskin, for example, in this because he got injured. He didn't actually compete in the 2020 season, so you don't actually have him in the game, which is a bit disappointing. He's, like, one of my favourite rides in Supercross. But yeah, it's just needs more milestone, just more. Needs to be fleshed out a bit more career. Like, well, I'll compare it to the F1 games, but Cody's have had over a decade now of working on those games. Milestone is their 4th edition, like, and they're just bringing back this type of career mode after only having it in 2 previously. So yeah, it's a good idea. It just needs more variety basically in it. And it's very similar career to the MXGP games as well. No, you don't have an agent, do you? You've got the contracts where you don't have an agent like you do in the MXGP games, but it all works very similarly. Yeah, we just need, like, we see what you can do in the MotoGP games with a career, managing the team and stuff. Like, we need that for this. It's so cool, like managing your teams in like 250s, for example. That'd be pretty cool. Or you're riding in 450s. I'll keep messing up that rhythm section. I was will catch up the park here. At least we got the whoops. The gate should kind of close the gap in half. But yeah, that's what is so frustrating about Milestones that can't be in general. Is like we see features in one of their games and then it's not in another one, even though it's released later, and you're like, why isn't this in that and that's in this? And it's a bit all over the place. Because they show what they... Oh god, we got kind of slowed down there by Parker. But we do take the lead. So yeah, it's just a bit frustrating. Like I just noticed in the MotoGP... MotoGP games, they have the kind of grid system in photo mode. This is a tiny example, but they had the grid system in photo mode where you can line up your perfect photos perfectly and stuff. I don't have that in the Supercross games for some reason. Or can't remember having it in the MotoGP games either. Like a little simple thing, a button, which is just exclusive to the MotoGP and I think Ride games as well. Like it's just those little things which is just baffling from them. Talking about baffling as well as their DLC and their content for these games. Don't land on him. Oh, it's Jeffrey in the lead. Didn't even realise. But Jeffrey, why are you so rubbish in that section, man? Just slowed us down. Parker must have crashed in the B behind us. Oh yeah, we have the Monster Energy up again as DLC. The 4th edition in a row, even though it's the 2011 edition. That's why we got hit there. So that's killed our momentum. See, that is very frustrating on the 250s. Oh, weirdo. But then you get the whoop section like that, and that's too easy, is the whoop advantage in the whoops. Because again, wheelies coming to the rescue there. As Parker not leading, across on heading on to the final lap of our career. But yeah, then we have like the 125s and 250s, like the 2 straights had it as DLC, a couple of classic tracks as well in Seattle and Indianapolis. I say classic tracks, they're the 2020 versions, I think, aren't they? The 2019, oh no, got too close there. I don't think we'll be winning our final race now. Because he getting slowed down in these rhythm sections. Annoyingly. No, we've had a good whoop section. Alright, we're going to have to dive it on Parker. Let's do a dive bomb. Oh, not close enough. But damn it. Yes, there we go then. We didn't win. But somebody grabbed the title. Has Parker won on his cars ahead of Eisvan and the Honda of Kittner. Third and KTM of Maggie Thomas in 4th ahead of the Kawasaki Jennifer Johnson, Jessica on the Yamaha, in Hearn on the Kawasaki, Johnny on the Yamaha, Carlos on the Husqvarna, and Donald Blaze on his Honda as Norman in last. So there you go. We have won the title by 23 points out of Maggie Thomas, Zoe White in down to 3rd in the end. Then we've got Smith Joseph, Donald into the top 5 ahead of Lucas Gill, Robert Moody. For Johnson climbing up 14 places, Jessica up at 11, Nathan down to 10th in the end. Jordan Parker with his victory in 12th. So yeah, we're the only consistent rider. So it was actually much easier to win this than we thought. I think so. Amazing we struggled so much before. We're going to end on level 99. That's disappointing.
The pace of that race was absolutely crazy. They definitely gave it their all.
Oh, there was no trophy celebration scene. That's disappointing. As there we go, we came first. You got first in the Future Championship. We unlocked the Yellow Dragon outfit. And there you go. First in Futures. We have come first in Rookies, but I think it's because we haven't finished first in both East and West. It's not showing. Then first in Pro as well. But that is Supercross 4 career. Done and dusted. Probably my second favourite Supercross career, that is. Fine 2. Like, I think I enjoyed 2 a bit more. Even though the opponents were a bit more frustrating. I think I don't know. Overall, this game, I rank it is pretty even between 4 and 3. Like, 1's above 1 was just fun, like really good fun, and then you got like probably this actually, and then like 2 and then 3, but 4, 2 and 3 are very close. Even though this probably got the best career so far, multiplayer is pretty decent as well online. I quite enjoy that. A lot of customizations, a bit less apparently got a couple less models, like less manufacturers and stuff in there, which is a bit disappointing here. Track editors very similar to 3, if not exactly the same. Track editor's not been as good as like I think 1. It's probably the best track editor as well. Tutorials, I think these were videos, weren't they? Let me check. Yeah, you actually get videos explaining stuff. You get a tutorial race as well. That's good. At least tutorials are not just pictures now, which it used to be in Milestone games. That's much better. Yeah, I was talking about DLC. This is ridiculous. There used to be a couple editions ago, a ridiculous amount of suits to buy. But yeah, adding in 2 strokes and like this, the credits multiplier is just bullshit. Like, you're just telling us that before the game came out, you were like, we're going to give you less credits for doing stuff, so we can sell you this instead. That's what you're telling us. You're telling us you're shortchanging us. Thanks for that, Milestone. It's very much like the Forza VIP as well, like Forza Horizon, Forza Motorsport VIP. Let's credit multiply. You did it in Ride 4. Don't do it again. Yeah, neon suits. Yeah, you got the 2 strokes as well. You keep asking for this just to be added into the game. You keep releasing its DLC. One of these days, we will be very frustrated. I'm really frustrated about it anyway. Because you keep asking for 2 strokes just to be added normally, but no, you keep pumping them out as DLC. And for the Monster Energy Cup, every edition I think has had this released as DLC. When Monster Energy Cup's just normal part of the season at the end of the season. So, oh yeah, for pre-order we got the Patriot stuff. I don't really care about. But yeah. Supercross 4, you're okay. What can I say? Your handling's a bit better. I think it's a bit more rewarding to ride around. Career mode's slightly better. Multiplayer slightly better. But overall, just the feeling of the game, it's still... There's so much more to do. Come on. 4th edition now, Milestone. You can do better. Add in features properly as well. Like, give us mini bikes. That's what we want. Mini bikes. And then we got... They would make the career mode structure a bit more... Makes sense as well. Like, you go from mini bikes to 250s to 450s as well. Like, that'd be pretty cool. So, yeah, overall... So, oh, they had it in Race Director. I haven't actually checked that out. That's the only time I haven't checked out. Let's see if anyone's still on. No. Everyone's already given up. There's, in what, a couple of months, everyone's given up online. Again, this is mainstream European time, though. So, I guess for American time, there'll be some people still playing it. But, yeah. That's Supercross 4. I don't think I have any much more to add. I hope you enjoyed Career Mode in Supercross 4. I know we had difficulties with me getting with my PC issues and stuff, but I think, especially in the 450 class, like, I've quite enjoyed like riding the bikes. Quite enjoyed, Career Mode as well. So yeah, it's just aching for more from Milestone. As I say, we see the potential of MotoGP, and then it's not applied to the Supercross or MXGP games. It's a bit frustrating to see as someone who likes all the bike games from them, like Ride 4 as well. But that career was again interesting and a bit different from the previous edition, just like with this. So yeah, I'm just happy we're going to see some competition for Milestone in it like this year. So I'll be back with non-Milestone stuff, apart from MotoGP 21, but I like 4-wheel stuff next time. So thanks for watching. I'll see you then.